style while I grip the funk with my Maori. Lyrical and original.
How you been?
Yeah, good, bro. Just finished work and I was quite stoked because usually on a Friday, right, everyone's kind of chilling out and winding down. But I knew I was coming home to talk to you, bro. So I was like, yeah, let's go.
Yeah, I'm excited to talk to you. It's been a while. When was the first one that we did?
Oh, geez, it would have been 2021, or maybe same time of year.
I'm trying to think of how old my kids were. That's how my life is kind of like judged now. But I can't remember. But it feels like ages ago. Feels like a lot's happened.
Yeah, I bet. I mean, you had only one child last time I spoke to you.
Yeah, and then now got a second one. He's about a month or 5 weeks old.
Nice.
And then, yeah, the older one's 1 year and about 4 or 5 months. So, yeah, they're getting bigger. Yeah, a lot of taking up a lot of my time. I don't have as much time to hunt these days, but still got some stuff coming in, so it keeps me happy.
Yeah, it's the one, bro. I think one of the last things that we spoke about that it like stood out for me was the when you were sharing that the jerseys were still being made here in New Zealand. Remember you were telling me about, and you weren't sure who were making them, or
Yes.
it's still a
Yeah, so
mystery.
more came out this year. Maybe like 3 colors or something. There's always only like a few colors that come out. And I still don't have any more information. But the more I think about it, the more I'm thinking like maybe the New Zealand branch of Canterbury of New Zealand should think about maybe doing like a little collection that's made in New Zealand or something like that. Like if you look at brands like New Balance and stuff, they charge a premium for like made in USA, made in UK, and people are willing to pay because they know it's going to be quality and it's going to be like a different look, different feel. So yeah, I feel like maybe in the future Canterbury of New Zealand might go down that path too. They seem to have been taking a lot of steps in the right direction as far as I can see. So yeah, who knows? They could go back to that at some point.
That'd be awesome. I mean, people like yourself and even me, we would absolutely buy it, right, if it was made in New Zealand.
Yeah, there's something about it. I mean, it'd be advantageous for them in terms of like being able to go to the factory, tell the person that's working on the sewing machine or whatever, like, this is how we want it done, as opposed to like at the moment, I haven't personally had to deal with it, but like dealing with samples getting sent over from overseas and the turnarounds and shipping delays and all that kind of stuff. And there's always, people always talk about how there's a lot of back and forth between getting your samples done and stuff. It takes like, 3 or 4 different times. Maybe you have to make a trip to China. And that's all gone if you're just doing it locally,
Do you think there's like a new, like, I guess a keep it local kind of vibe now?
Yeah, I think people are more conscious of where their stuff's made, and people are willing to. I mean, every dollar that we spend is like a vote for what we believe in or what we think is cool, or
Yeah.
So the more you spend in this direction, hopefully the more is going to come. And like that's how I like to believe, is like you support stuff that's cool, you support stuff that you like, and then hopefully more of it gets made. And stuff you don't like, you just don't spend money on it, and then hopefully it stops getting made. Or yeah, so hopefully we can see more made in New Zealand. But I mean, I've had friends that have had brands, and the cost of production is just so high if you're making it in New Zealand. So I can see why it's not really sustainable in terms of a business model, maybe.
Yeah, fair enough.
So yeah, I don't know.
I think the last we last
But
spoke. Sorry, bro.
I think it's been over 20 years now and stuff. I mean, you can tell, like, if when you go op shopping, you probably see like nothing from maybe the year 2000 onwards is ever really made in New Zealand, unless it's like really expensive brands or So yeah, it's kind of a gauge of like when the 90s stopped, that's when the factories must have closed down.
Yeah, for real. I was just gonna say the last time we spoke, it was like you had like instilled this patriotism, which is something that you're big on, and then from then on, that conversation, I've just been on this, like my curation process had completely changed, and it was looking for anything vintage to now actually vintage plus made in New Zealand became a bit more meaningful. So thanks, bro, for that.
Yeah, that's sick. I've noticed that you've been posting a lot of like made in New Zealand stuff and even just random things that you've been getting real psyched on, like the made in New Zealand Levi's and stuff
Yeah,
like that.
bro.
Like it's fun. Like it makes it more fun. I don't know. I guess yeah, it is a patriotism thing at the end of the day. We like to think that New Zealand is the best, right?
Yeah,
So
bro.
like if things are made in New Zealand, then it must be the best quality.
100%.
But yeah, there's something about it. I don't know, something about those two letters, the NZ, that makes me feel pretty cool about like wearing it.
Speaking, oh, hang on, bro. My internet's, man, we're still on dial up here in Kauru. When we spoke the first time, and then people who know me here in Kauru, and then they were like, "Oh, is that fellow from Kauru?" I was like, "Yeah, bro, homie represents hard."
Yeah, I got a lot of love for Kodo. Yeah, it's definitely somewhere that's very nostalgic for me. So yeah, whenever I think about it, it's like really good memories. Like I think it's just those formative years, like from when you're a baby. I left when I was like 9 or 10, so just those primary school years. It's like so much fun and stuff. So yeah, I'll always have fond memories of Kodo. It's a beautiful place. I saw some. My mum always sends me random things like someone took these scenic photos. I think it must have been by the golf course or like by the river kind of thing. And like I love how many trees there are and like it's so yeah, it's so beautiful and green and stuff.
Yeah, we get a there's a lot of like Instagrammable spots here, like in terms of photography.
Mm.
The homie Timmy D wants to come down, He wants to take some photos and
Oh yeah,
stuff. Yeah,
that's cool.
he's real keen to come
I
down.
think I think Tom Gould took some photos in Kawerau a few years ago. Um, I remember there was like a dude in a gang patch and maybe like a kid near the rec center, kind of rings a bell, like down by the pools kind of area. Um, but I can't remember what the photos were for. I think it was just some personal photos, like black and white kind of style, kind of similar to the photos that he took for the new Canterbury campaign.
Mm,
Um, but yeah, they were sick. I have some stuff to show you today.
yeah,
Just
bro.
some stuff that I've been getting lately, um, that I thought you might be interested in.
Bro, let's do it.
Should we get into it?
Yeah.
Okay, so this hat I'm wearing is like my favorite Canterbury cap, and it's just a snapback, real simple style. And then like I've picked up a couple other colors. I've had a few colors in the past that I sold. Like I had a royal blue one, sort of similar color to the blue on your jacket, and I had a red one. And then I bought this one. I thought it was going to be another red one, and then when it came, it's like actually like a
That's dope.
like a maroon kind of like a what's that color? Maroon. There's another word. Reminds me of King's College. This one.
Is it burgundy? No.
Burgundy. That's the
Yeah.
word. Yeah, burgundy. Yeah, perfect. Yeah. So these caps were released in Japan in the 90s,
Damn.
and yeah, they got this kind of badge on there.
Oh, that's
Yeah, they're really nicely made. And where was this? They're either made in China or Japan, depending. They must have released them for like a couple of years. I've seen lately the World's Toughest. It's like a page that Canterbury runs. They posted up like a catalog of hats and these were in there. And then I got this other one. It's kind of like, if that other one's King's College, then this one is Auckland Grammar.
I was gonna say.
But yeah, that is, I don't know, that is a great shape. When I first got them, I thought that the logo was a bit too full on. But pretty good size, I think.
It's growing
now
on
that I'm
you.
used to it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've been wearing this black one a lot. It's easy. I got this. I was wearing a oh, that's right. In the last video I showed a hoodie, and it was like New Zealand Endeavour. It was like a navy hoodie. And then this, I picked this up the other day, and it's let's see if it zooms in. It's kind of, it must have been made at the same time. And it's got this patch on here, New Zealand Endeavour. And then it's just a crew neck Japanese one where they just ran wild with New Zealand designs. Same on the back.
Man, it's in such good condition as well.
This here, if you see a tag like this, that's a Japanese tag.
Yeah,
anyone's
sparkly
wondering.
Yeah.
And it says like some broken English on the back, like it is the authentic of Canterbury of New Zealand.
That is cool.
But yeah, this is like early 90s. Very much the era that the Canterbury of New Zealand now is kind of like re-releasing the Japanese kind of design stuff. So what else did I get? Oh yeah, you might be interested in this. You like your blue tag.
Oh, nice,
Blue
bro.
jersey, yeah.
I like the diamond
Yeah,
logos.
Yeah, they are good, eh?
I like those that hit.
Yeah. I like how it says like made on Simon Street in Auckland. I don't know if it was made on Simon Street or but their PO box is Simon Street, Auckland. So yeah, it's pretty cool. But yeah, this one, I don't think it's ever been washed. Like the tags are all, so you can like read all the information. Really lovely. And then somebody got their name embroidered on this one, Nishimura.
Oh, that's kind of cool.
They just got it. Yeah, it's like nice placement, eh? Like it's just on the neck, like above.
I like that.
Like I'm a bit weird about like personal modifications of clothing and stuff, but this is kind of done in like a tasteful way. But it's weird, like not like I don't think he's ever worn it or she's ever worn it. They just got it embroidered. Maybe it was like a present or something. I don't know.
I like that they went out of their way to get it embroidered.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. I mean, it kind of makes me think like it could be a cool place to add embroidery if like I was able to make a jersey or something like that. Like it's quite a nice little hit. It'd be sick for like player worn jerseys if they had their name like here or something like that. Like so then you can like the All Blacks, the player worn jerseys have the information like down on the side. And it's like black on black in embroidery, like the old jersey. So you can't even notice unless you see one up close. Wow. So yeah, just those little like touches are pretty sick, I reckon.
The sponsor hits on that are so clean.
Yeah, it's crazy. I don't think there's any like zero cracking or anything. Like it's fucked up. And like the badges, that was the other thing I was gonna say. For some reason the Tigers badges are always like super massive. Like look how much bigger the Tigers emblem is compared to the I've had a couple of other Tigers jerseys and they were the same, like just huge, like massive patches. Maybe that was like a request at Balmain, like they were like, give us the biggest patches you got. This one just arrived the other day and I don't know what's going on with it. So it's a Broncos jersey and then looks normal and then check this out. I see like Broncos here. And like I hit up a couple of Broncos collectors and they just have no idea. Like
I've never seen that. I've never seen that on the internet or anything. I've never seen, yeah.
I don't know if, because like the classic has kind of like worn off, but then the print is like pretty mint. So I'm wondering like someone just added it on.
Yeah, true.
Or the other option is that they just had some without the Powers logo, and they just decided to add that weird Broncos thing on for like to sell for like in the shop at the stadium or something. I don't know. Fucking weird. Just when you think you've seen it all.
Yeah.
What else we got here? This is stuff that's arrived basically in the last week or so. I have a problem. I got this t-shirt.
Nice.
Pretty cool.
91.
I really like this little hit here, this little Canterbury on the sleeve.
Oh, it's a cool touch.
Yeah, I've had a couple of them. I've got one on one of my Warriors t-shirts, and there's like some America's Cup t-shirts that have it. But yeah, it's a nice little feature. Yeah, that's what I was going to mention to you. I've been geeking. I like watching these videos from these Japanese guys, and they were talking about single stitch and stuff, and how so up until 1994, American t-shirts were single stitch on the sleeves and on the bottom hem, so like top and bottom, like sleeves and then the bottom of the hem. Then from 1994 to 1996, there was a time where only the bottom hem was double stitched and the sleeves were single stitched. And then from 1996 onwards, double.
Oh, yeah.
So if you find something, you might see some variations, like if there might be a t-shirt that's dated like 1998, like some kind of rock tour or sporting event that's still single stitch, and that would most likely be like the factory had some leftover single stitches that they like used. And then there's lots of variations with like even the same band tee can be like on single and double, like depending on where it was printed or whatever. And then the European tees, they started using double stitch before America, so like it's earlier. So yeah, it was interesting to me to know, because and then it made me just go look at all my t-shirts, like did I have any that were like double at the bottom, single on the top, like. And they were talking about little like details, like the ribbing on the collar and stuff, like how they tell if stuff's fake, and like little details like that. Like never thought about the ribbing on the collar before, like if it's like straight lines or if it's like crisscross patterns, or yeah, these dudes go deep, man. Crazy.
Yeah, that's it's real. I mean, it's super nerdy, but it's super interesting. Yeah, like
yeah, and it's helpful. Because you'll see something that looks exactly the same as something else at face value, but then if you look closely, it's like slightly different. And if someone's asking you if something's like legitimate or not, or like what year is this from, then all these little pointers, they kind of help. With the things that we collect with like league jerseys, it's pretty easy how like the sponsors change from year to year and stuff. So you can like get on Google and be like, you know, Balmain Tigers 1994, Balmain Tigers 1993, Balmain Tigers, and then you see like the team photos and stuff. So that's really helpful. But a lot of things don't have sponsorship changes or big changes. So, yeah. My son's eating lunch right now.
He's having fun.
Has he finished, Miki? Okay. I'm just going to change over to the other room. 1 second.
Yeah, no worries, bro.
Yeah, he's having fun. Always having fun. You want to say hi, Makase? Hello. Hello.
Hi.
Konnichiwa.
Kia ora from Kaore, your home.
Here's little Ricky. Can you see Ricky?
Oh, he's crashed. He's crashed up, bro.
Okay, 1 sec.
Oh, it's so cool, man. You'll have to bring them back to the Maunga one day, bro.
Yeah. Well, should be back Over Christmas time, hopefully.
Mm. Dope. No doubt you'll let me know if you're in town.
Okay, we are back in action. I was going to sort out that zooming in thing was buzzing me out a little bit.
Yeah.
But
I'm on like the budget version of Zoom nowadays, so I've only got like 40-minute. But if it cuts out, I can just re-thing again, and we go another 40 minutes. Like it's
okay, sweet.
Yeah.
I don't have too much more to show you, but I'm keen to chat about stuff. On the theme of the All Black t-shirts, I actually had a bit of a bad buzz purchase as well.
Oh no, hate that, eh?
I got this t-shirt, which is like pretty common here, to be honest. Like, but I just wait for them to become cheap and then buy them. So yeah, this one was dead stock, size large. It was about $20 or something. So I was like, sweet. And then got it, and then it had that weird little. Have you had much dry rot stuff before?
Yeah, I've had, especially black teas, eh?
Yeah, you know how it has that kind of like shine to it, kind of. Like
Yeah.
you can kind of tell. Like I haven't had many. I've only had like 3 or 4, something like that. But I had this. Yeah, when I pulled it out, I was like, oh, this has never been washed. Like it had the tag, so that was kind of obvious. But then I remembered, I was like, oh, I had black teas. Like what the fuck? So I just tried to rip like the bottom hem, and then straight away like rip. But then like certain bits were stronger than others, so I was like, oh, maybe. But then, yeah, like I just ripped like hole up here, like it was fucked. So I messaged the guy, and he, like I mentioned dry rot and stuff, and then he just refunded the money and just said dispose of the t-shirt. Like I'm really sorry, I should have checked it before it went out.
Good on him. Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, it was really cool. I was blown away. This t-shirt was super cool that I received. It's a Mambo.
Oh, wicked.
It's a Ridge Mombasa one, and it was around the 2000 Olympics in Sydney. I don't know if you can read it. It says, International Opiate Convention, like the IOC. And then inside this syringe is Sydney.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's so fucking good. I didn't know that this t-shirt existed. And then got it. And one of my mates that lives in Sydney was like, oh, I've been trying to find that for ages. So yeah, I might send it his way. Maybe I'll wear it a couple of times, but yeah, I've been getting into like researching about Reg Mombasa a bit. Like, so I searched and there's a few old podcasts and stuff, and because he's the artist that did that t-shirt. There was a few Mambo artists back in the day, and he was one of them. And he's actually a Kiwi guy who moved to Australia when he was like in his late teens, and then he went to art school over there. And he has a pretty distinctive style. And he was in a band too. He was in a band called Mental as Anything. They were like kind of famous in Australia back in the 80s and 90s. And he just does some real funny like political commentary on his t-shirt designs and stuff. And I think he did the Tri-Series t-shirts for the Super League. Like I've got that one, and it's like a moldy kind of warrior dude poking his tongue out. It's like black and white. Do you remember that one?
I think I do, yeah.
One sec.
Are you gonna grab it? Oh, sweet.
Might as well.
Bro, that's so cool that you. How did you figure out that he was Kiwi?
I haven't confirmed that he did this, but okay. I've been talking to this other dude that's into like rugby league graphics and stuff, and we're pretty sure. I messaged him on Instagram, Reg Mombasa account, but he hasn't got back to me. So
Oh, okay.
mystery that we never find out. But I think he did. But he did a bunch of stuff.
I really hope
Um,
he responds, bro.
yeah, it'll be cool to find that out. There's actually a Queensland one with a like crocodile character, and there's a New South Wales one too that we only just found out about in the last couple months that it existed, because I've been like wondering what it looked like. When you know that there's a set of something and then there's like a mystery item, it's pretty cool to like find what it is.
Yeah, that's dope. All right, my Zoom's
Um,
telling me I got 10 minutes. Keep going,
Okay,
bro. And if
cool.
we cut, I'll just send you another link. We go another form.
Okay.
Yeah.
So today I actually got a package from Australia from New Era, and like I sold some Sydney 2000 gear about 5 or so years ago, maybe longer. Like when I first started One World of Sport, to this guy that was living in Sydney, and then he's like a designer, like he's done his own products and stuff, and then he started working for New Era like about a couple years ago, and he hit me up maybe a year and a half ago saying that they had like just got the rights for the NRL for this season, would be the first season, and he started showing me like some samples and like some stuff like that. So like the cord caps that just came out this season, like these ones, they just came out,
Yeah.
you've seen these around it, like they started selling them at Loaded and stuff like that.
Yeah. This is so
yeah, they finally got us some sick hats like the NRL. Like the NRL's been lacking in good hats for like many years. I feel like I haven't had a good Warriors hat since the ones that were made in the 90s. So they said that they would send me something, and I was like, whatever you want to send my way, like whatever, like I'm cool with that. And I just kept on praying to the hat gods, and then like this package came, and then they sent me the Warriors one, which is really nice. And then for some reason, I don't know how different this is to the real hat that they're selling, or real, they're both real, but I mean like the normal hat, because inside it's like sample tags and stuff, which is pretty cool.
That's pretty cool.
They're really nice. Like I saw your boy Tablova was complaining about the size, but I think he's the only one that's complained, because they're pretty big. Like, I don't know, like when I put it on like a bigger setting, it's like huge, like really big. I don't know. Maybe he's just got a beard. Sorry, Tablova.
I like how they use Auckland on that one, but they use the straight tongue.
Yeah. That's a weird little quirk, but yeah, it's to do with who owns the logo, what stuff the NRL or the ARL owns, like Australian rugby owns, and which ones they don't. This is pretty damn cool. So this is a sample of a product that will never come out, they've said. So it says here like sample not releasing.
Dude, that's cool, bro.
So I think they make a bunch of products, they show the teams, and then like if they want to order it and sell it, then they'll go ahead. So they'll get like a few options to pick from. And obviously the Warriors decided not to pick this one, but yeah, it's pretty sick. It's kind of similar to the ones that have come out like in the last few years. There's been a few. I know like in terms of reselling Warriors stuff, there's a couple of these beanies that are like super sought after, that like they sold out, and then like people always like try to find them and stuff. I like how it says war on the front, like nice and bold.
That's dope.
And then the last one is probably the coolest. It's this.
Oh wow, that's cool. That is very cool.
Not bad. So this one is a sample of 2023 supporters samples. So this one will be coming out next year, I believe. So this will be a hat that that everybody will be able to purchase. But yeah, they sent me some photos of this, and then I was like, "Fuck, this font is so G."
Yeah.
I don't know if it's just because it says Warriors, but like for something about it, like really reminds me of Once Were Warriors, the font, like from the movie posters. I don't know.
Yeah, I get I know what you're saying.
But maybe it's just the word. Maybe I'm just like
The way that
brainwashed by
the once
the word
were
Warriors.
stacked on top of the Warriors, on the movie. It's quite
Yeah. I
YouTube,
haven't compared it to the poster, but so yeah, pretty blown away. It was like Christmas. Like it was just this morning. The truck rolled in, and then I knew I was talking to you. I was like, "Fuck me, I'll be able to show them." So yeah, they said that I can show them on my Instagram and stuff, and even the beanie that's not coming out, they don't care about like it getting shown, which is interesting. I don't know how that works with like companies and stuff, like whether they're allowed to show samples or like when teams are involved and stuff. So who knows?
It's probably strategic, bro. They're giving it to you so you do show it, and
Yeah, maybe they really want to make it. But yeah, can't believe it. Like that they even talk to me, let alone like want to send me stuff. It's pretty cool.
they must have been really stoked with the way, or the guy must have dealt with you, or you dealt with him.
Yeah, I just always stayed in contact with him, and I guess we're kind of into the same sort of stuff. So he makes some cool stuff. So I like to talk to him about what he's designing and stuff. He used to make some things for, it was kind of like bootleg Nike, kind of when like, I don't know if you ever saw them, but like Nike TN, like rings and jewelry, and like he made these buzzy products. Okay. Yeah, it was very interesting. I don't really know how he made all the jewelry and stuff, but it was popular. But then I think something may have happened with Nike, like they shut it down or something like that.
Oh, okay. Yeah. We might have missed that here in Kauru.
Have you got anything you want to talk to me about, or that we should talk about?
Oh, any question? No, I just it's good to catch up and see what you've been up to as well. Like, sorry, bro. I always
I'd love some dad advice.
Some dad advice. Some dad advice. Nah, bro, I'm sure you and your lovely partner have got things sorted. Those boys are
I remember you saying something on one of your Q&A thing. It was like people were asking you questions on Instagram, and then it was like something about settling a kid or something like that, and then you said like they just want to hear your voice like singing or something like that. Oh, and then okay. So always like stuck in my head, and so we just always sing Max, like Twinkle Twinkle Little Star, and then that's like our go-to thing that we just sing to him like over and over until it's like shut down.
Oh, that's so cool, bro. I think it's like real soothing, eh?
Yeah.
You figure out what soothes your kids, you just kind of stick to it. But I've always found even sight, like when kids can see you, like if especially if you're like family functions and stuff, everyone wants to hold your kids there, like, oh, look at the baby. But yeah, I don't know. But yeah, that's cool, bro. I'm glad someone picked something up off me.
Because you were like a early starter when it comes to like having kids and stuff, right? Because you must see like people, I think you're around the same age as me, but you must be seeing a lot of people around your age are just having kids now for the first time, right?
Yeah, bro. So my kids are like almost ready to go out to the world and start paying rent, but no, it's cool though. Like sometimes you can share stuff with them, what to do, what not to do.
I thought it's game day, so I thought I'd get into the spirit.
Let's quick costume.
Got the I don't want to date your podcast, but we've got the Cowboys today.
Oh, I'm gonna try and get this out by tomorrow. So.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I think the game starts in about, what's the time now? 2. It's an early game, so maybe in 2 or 3 hours. I think it starts early Friday game.
Yeah, nice. A big
Do you
game for me.
usually watch the game?
Yeah, try to where possible. I mean, I always the TV and is always dictated by other people in the household, bro. So yeah, where I can, I'll just tuck myself away in the room with my phone. Just look.
Yeah. Well, if you get close enough, it feels like a big screen, right?
I got a big game tomorrow. I actually I don't know where it is, but we put a team back into the Coastlines Rugby League competition, the old Putawaki Stags.
Oh man,
And
like a senior team.
Yeah. So we got our little Prems team. We're heading up to Papamoa tomorrow, which is interesting because the team we're playing has Blake Ashford and Ben Matalino.
Oh, I saw a picture of them together
Yeah.
in the other day. That's interesting. That's cool.
Yeah, it'd be cool. I'm hoping they're playing. They may not be playing. Not too sure, but yeah, it would be cool to rub shoulders with them. And
Are you actually hoping that Ben Marlino's playing, or you're hoping that he's good maybe? Or
I hope he's playing. I mean, how good would it be to say you ran it straight at someone like that? You know,
how cool would it be to get knocked out by Ben Marlino's shoulder? That would be amazing.
In both ways too. Like let him run at me as well. Should be good. Good test.
I heard that he's got a lawn mowing business in Papamoa.
Oh, cool. Bit of landscaping.
That's like his retirement, or like not retirement, but like life after footy kind of thing.
Yeah.
Because they did that story on Crowd Goes Wild with Charlie Gubb doing the Portaloo in Wellington, and then I think they mentioned on that Ben Matalino is doing lawn mowing, and then I think they might try to get him on for a little story. So that'll be cool.
Yeah,
it's a beautiful part of the world to live in. Not a bad place to settle down after the game.
I think it's good too for our region in terms of development in rugby league. You got people like that who are able to talk to young fellas after game, or even to be able to play alongside them. Man, you'd pick up a lot.
Yeah, 100%. He started he cracked first grade pretty young, so I'm sure he would have his rise to the big time was pretty dramatic. So I'm sure he would have learned some stuff along the way, good and bad. He was always my favorite player for a long time, especially when the shoulder charge was legal. He was lethal, man.
He's pretty lethal, dude.
But he could, he played well at prop and then on the edge too. He was pretty versatile with whatever he needed to do. But it was pretty stink when we lost him. When Ivan Cleary recruited a few of those dudes with Warriors roots kind of thing over to the Tigers. Him and Packer and a few others joined, Elijah Taylor and stuff, all kind of joined at the same time to the Tigers, I think. And then nothing really worked out after that, really. Yeah, he kept on getting injured, and then that was his career done, really.
Did he do a stint overseas, Super League?
I don't think so. I think it was just Tigers and then done. I think he got a pretty serious injury, maybe medically retired. I'm not 100% sure on that, but okay. Something along those lines. Him and Packer were pretty done by the end, their bodies, I think.
Well, yeah, they would be. Those boys are pretty deadly.
They went hard.
Yeah.
And from a young age, under 20s, and then there was no gap. It was just 20s, and the next year they were starting for the top side pretty much.
Yeah. I've always liked the players, non-Auckland players.
Yeah.
There's some, I don't know what it is. I've always felt like it was maybe a harder road, perhaps.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. And if you're good, maybe it's easier to get noticed outside of Auckland because there's not as many good people potentially. In Auckland, it's pretty psycho how many teams there are, South Auckland, West Auckland. So many teams, especially the big clubs like Mangere East or Glenora or something, like those clubs have like 20 teams or something, and then other clubs will have like one team in each grade, you know, like 5 teams. And like around the country there's probably a lot of clubs that don't have juniors or don't have seniors, or yeah. Auckland's stacked, man. It's crazy. But not as stacked as it should be. Like there should be a lot more people playing league that play union, especially high school kids that don't have a choice.
Yeah, true. It's quite
But yeah,
cool.
it is cool to. I would like to see an Auckland versus the rest game at some point. Like if league gets a bigger sort of presence in New Zealand, then it would be cool to see like a state of origin, like Auckland versus the rest. I think that would work in New Zealand. That would be the best. Like North Island, South Island, yeah, no. I reckon Auckland versus the rest. That has that whole like everybody secretly hates Auckland, and Auckland doesn't really care about. They don't hate the rest of the country, but they don't really care about the rest of the country. And like, there's that whole buzz of like, an Aucklander goes away, you know, goes down to Pakatani or something, and then someone sees them walking along the street, and they're like, "Oh, this guy from Auckland, like, oh, look what he's wearing," that kind of stuff. I think it would work really well.
Yeah, what's probably the most balanced, if you think about evening the teams out.
Yeah, especially, yeah, because I mean, there's a lot of hubs of rugby league around the country outside of Auckland. I know Northland, like a lot of players come out of there, and Bay of Plenty, obviously, and then parts of Wellington, parts of maybe Christchurch, are like little league hubs. So yeah, I think it would work pretty well.
Yeah, no.
One day.
That'd be that's actually cool. I wonder if
at least like maybe as like a trial for the Kiwis, if we had like a World Cup coming up, like just a trial game as like a warm up on telly or something, it would be pretty cool to see.
It'd be cool to see it at a not NRL level, but the New Zealand Rugby League level. Like that would be cool to see.
Yeah, because they do their regionals like a bit different. There's like Auckland, South Auckland, that they split it into 2 teams, I think. Like there's South Auckland and then maybe Auckland's Akaranga Falcons or something like that. And then like there's the other regions. Because yeah, Auckland, they can have at least 2 teams, I think, when it comes to the rep sides.
Yeah. We're quite lucky here in Kawerau. Like we don't have union clubs anymore. I think it used to be a 6-club town, bro, at one stage.
Like different sports, you mean? Or
no, like it had 6 rugby union clubs at one stage.
What?
I know, bro. I know.
I remember like one definitely, like sort of by the entrance to the mountain.
Yeah.
Like that little bridge that goes over.
Yeah,
there was like fields there. That was like a rugby club, I remember.
Yeah, that was, I think, United.
Kawerau
United. And then there was
soccer was like pretty big for adults. I remember there was like, my mum used to play like business house soccer, like up sort of near Putowaki, sort of. There was like these soccer fields, a big soccer club, and there was like, it felt like hundreds of people were like playing like on a weeknight and stuff. Like I guess there was a lot more people that lived in the town back then. It's crazy how things just go a little bit smaller.
Yeah. Well, we were at league training and our league coach was telling us that Kawerau at one stage was the main hub for Bay of Plenty touch.
Yeah.
I was just like, wow. And he used to tell me the whole the whole of the Tarawera Park fields where we train, there'd be like 20 fields there, touch fields, and it'd just be packed.
We had this teacher at our school at Central, and then he used to always be wearing like the Bay of Plenty touch like gear. Like I remember they always had the like Linko shorts. They were kind of like the Lotto shorts, you know, like kind of shiny logos, like same color on the same color. Like if you look closer, you can see the logos, like those kind of shorts. Yeah. And there was always people rolling around with like, I remember the Bay of Plenty touch like graphic, like really distinctly. Like I've seen it a couple of times. It's like, I remember it being like blue, like a royal blue and then like a highlighter yellow, like writing on it, and it'll be like, it's always sponsored by I want to say like Ryneck or something, and then it's like Bay of Plenty Touch, like pretty sick. Like I've seen a couple of people like op shoppers that have posted some Bay of Plenty Touch gears. There's a cool Instagram account that's like New Zealand old touch highlights. Have you seen that?
Yeah.
It's so sick. Like some of the mullets and shit, and like they're all crazy like plastic visors, and like the highlights so funny, bro. And I always remember they wore like Essex Tigers, those like running shoes, and then they had the kind of like plastic or like rubber, like like kind of not sprigs, but like almost.
Bro.
I love how fashions go along with certain, like this region that plays touch. Most of the people will be rocking these gears, or like and so you can really like in photos or whatever, you can be like, oh shit, yeah, I remember that. That was real popular. They used to wear their socks like this, or wear their whatever. Yeah, I never really got into touch. I played tag when I was in primary, like in Kodo, and that was real popular too. But then like at high school and stuff in Auckland, I wasn't in like the touch crew or whatever, but it was really popular.
Yeah. If you ever see that, I think it's like a video clip of a guy in the Bay of Plenty, and he's like the greatest stepper of all time, or he's like in the top 5 steppers of all time. Have you ever seen the video?
I can't remember that one distinctly, but I've watched quite a lot of the clips.
I'll send you the
clip. Okay, sounds good.
It's pretty hectic. Hopefully when I edit the podcast up, I can chuck it in so people can see it.
Okay.
But the guy who's doing the step is actually our coach.
Okay.
Yeah, he's from Kauru.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Did he know that the clip had been put online and stuff before you showed him, or?
Oh, I think it's a clip that's floated around for like over the years. He was 17 at the time. I believe he's in his early 40s.
Yeah.
So old school cat, but still got it there, like still sharp. I think he's even gonna play tomorrow. He's gonna prop.
Okay.
He's a prop now. He was a halfback long time ago. But he cracks up. He doesn't have TikTok, but he's like clocked up, I think, 500,000 views from his sidestep.
Well, that's impressive.
It's pretty funny that he's just chilling here in Kauru. He's our league coach. He's like a real strong leader in our community as well. It's funny as well.
It's cool to me, like guys like Benji Marshall, who like he went over to Australia when he was a teenager, and kind of his style of like stepping and how he played stepping and passing and stuff took the NRL like by storm. But I've heard him talk in interviews and stuff, and like that's just what everyone around him was playing like when he was a kid, So, and he was the one who like brought it into the realms of the NRL in Australia. And I guess it's the same probably when you think about like people who are like Sonny Bill offloading like in his style for the first time, and then people just started like picking up on it. But if you look at how when he was growing up playing, a lot of people around him would have been doing that same thing. So yeah, it's cool how New Zealand has had like such an impact. I feel like New Zealand has its own distinct style. It'll be cool to see that back. You see glimpses of it with the Warriors and with the Kiwis, but it'd be cool if they could really like showcase that more and be successful doing it. Would be the ultimate thing.
Yeah, no, for sure. Like I'd go to some of the touch modules locally just to go and watch Oldham play, and you could see it like all these little outlier communities around the Eastern Bay Plenty, and these teams would have these young dudes in them, and just the amount of talent, the stepping ability, and you can see it, and kind of back up what Benji says, like this is stuff that was normal, like that everyone was doing this. This was playground stuff. I guess I
don't know what it is, but like they talk about it a lot with Indigenous people playing, that the players can sense where the ball's going to bounce, or like how the ball's going to bounce. Like you look at someone like Selwyn Cobbo, for example, it's like they have this distinct. I guess it's that they just played a lot of football when they were kids, and then you know what's going to happen more than someone who, you know, like if you're just always playing in the backyard, always playing in the street with your friends, with your family, like you kind of get a better idea of like exactly how the ball's going to bounce, or where to put your hands, or where to be, or but some people just have that knack, and it seems like Maori people and indigenous people have this special, I don't know what it is, but you see it on the field sometimes, and it's pretty, it's like unexplained, like uncoachable kind of thing.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, that's always made people special too. Like that's those skills that you can't coach. Like, who do I think of? Like Benji, you've already said it. Benji and Sunny like can't coach a lot of things that they do.
Like the dude this year who's like burst onto the scene, it seems like is Jeremiah Nanai. Like his ability to be exactly where the ball's landing, or like how great, like he's scored something like 16 tries so far, and he's a back rower, and he's like 19 years old or something. It's like crazy. He's probably going to go to the World Cup for Australia this year, or if not, then definitely. I think he's, what would that be? His last name Nanai. I don't know if that's someone. I think he might be someone.
Yeah,
Sure.
hard to tell nowadays. Everyone's like sort of
Yeah.
now. They might
Those
have,
teams are going to be stacked, man. I'm so excited.
oh, bro, I'm so happy about Samoa.
The last World Cup was amazing, and then this one is going to be like even crazy. Like I would be in the UK for this tournament, man. It's going to be so good. Like just more and more names keep coming. Like Samoa. Did you see like Josh Papali'i and who was the other guy?
I think
There was another big name.
Jerome Luai.
Yeah, he was before. Him and To'o were before, and then there's another prop. Oh, Junior Paulo.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So potentially even Payne Haas could be in the team, and Stephen Crichton hasn't said he will be, I think, yet. But there's a few more names, and then they seem to have better halves than Tonga, I think. Like they have Milford, Chanel, someone else. I think Samoa can beat Tonga if they play each other, and I think they can win the tournament if they like fulfill their potential. Yeah, it's exciting. There's like at least 5 teams that can win. There's never been a rugby league World Cup like it.
Yeah, hard out, eh? It's always been like inevitable that the Kangaroos are gonna win this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I was a volunteer for the last World Cup, so I got to be like on the field and stuff, like doing little Instagram videos and stuff of like random. I just asked to volunteer, and they were like, "Oh, do you know how to work Instagram?" And I was like, "Yeah." So like I had the VIP passes like for the Auckland games. So I got to see Samoa versus New Zealand, and also the semi-final that was Tonga versus England. The like crazy game where
yeah, they just lost, or
they
but
game at the
controversy.
end. Yeah, like Peter like almost scored, and then Chicken like stopped the game, and then he had like 1,000 death threats after the game or something. Man, that game was crazy. Like, yeah, like wow, like oh my god, nothing like, and like you hear people now, like I hear like James Graham, Sam Burgess, like on these podcasts talking, and they're like, yeah, that's the like craziest game that I've ever been a part of. Like the crowd was nuts, and then it's gonna happen again. But I wonder I guess there's not that many like Tongan and Samoan fans living in the UK, right?
I wouldn't imagine so. Yeah.
I'm interested to see how many, like how much red there is in the crowd and stuff. It's gonna be pretty cool.
I reckon that like the English fans, you know, like New Zealand, we always adopt the country.
Yeah, and English league fans, they're the kind of fans I feel like that are like pretty educated, like the dudes from up north, like they know what good league is, and so they'll get behind they're not just going to be like fully one-eyed supporters. Like if a team's playing a good brand league and they're like backing them, then they'll get behind them and support them. So yeah, I think there'll be a bit of that, and they'll probably have the mindset of like, if we can't win as England, then like, as long as Aussie doesn't win, then we're happy. So like they'll probably get behind New Zealand, they'll get behind Tonga, like Samoa, Fiji, Papua New Guinea. Yeah, but I think there's a lot of teams that going in genuinely feel like that they could win it, and like that's what you want in a tournament. Like that's what you need, is you need like 5 or 6 teams to believe, and then you're gonna have a good product.
Oh, I mean, even just Fiji and PNG, bro.
Fiji always rips it up in the World Cups, man. Like at the last one, they beat New Zealand in the quarterfinal.
It's funny, like even for the Kiwis, it's like questionable. Like they have to play, like they got to show up on the day, man, because these other teams are gonna come and they're gonna come strong, man. Like
and you see some crazy like low scoring games in the World Cup sometimes. Like I think that Fiji New Zealand game, there was maybe only like 1 or 2 tries. In the final, England Australia, it was like 6-0 to Australia was the final score. And that happens in Union World Cups too, right? Like it just becomes like there's so much pressure, and like the defense is so like psycho that yeah, you can just get some crazy low scoring, like edge of your seat, like damn, what's gonna happen? Like
I remember the last time we spoke, bro, you talked about oh, was it when we spoke, or maybe we were messaging each other, but you talked about getting into a bit of a little bit of trouble around your, I suppose, art.
Oh, okay.
Oh, I was just wondering, like, if we could get into you know, because I think both of us I used to get around and sharing my art as well. What like you still like writing, or you still
Nah, but I appreciate it, and I feel like I know as I get older, I feel like that I can pick in my head like this area should have graffiti, this this area should be left alone, like more. Whereas when you're young, you're just like, oh, it'd be cool if like this shop had like graffiti all over the front. But then like you kind of understand that it goes along with certain landscapes better than others. Like where I live now, it's wacky enough and wild enough, and there's enough fuzzy stuff going on that it doesn't really need it. Whereas like certain cities, it just fits perfectly, I feel like. But yeah, I got into like graffiti when I was a teenager, and yeah, it's fun. I met a lot of people, made a lot of friends, and it gives you a good way to like navigate around the city. I feel like you end up having to like walk the tracks late at night to get home, and you figure out like things. Gives you a little bit of like street knowledge, I guess, of like how to get your way out of situations, or stay safe and stuff like that. But it's not fun getting caught, I guess, and it's not really worth it as you get older. But yeah, I'm still friends with like a lot of people that I met through that, and I never really advanced too far, like in terms of, I guess I didn't have the patience to get into like doing actual like pieces and stuff, and that kind of reflects in my taste of what I think is cool now. Like I prefer like simple things like throw ups or tags or whatever. There's some really cool graffiti here in Japan, and I love taking photos of it like whenever I see it and stuff. So you see the odd like thing of using Japanese characters and stuff, but I like to see more. But in the cities like in Tokyo and Osaka, some pretty famous people from America come and bomb, and it stays up if you do it in the right place, it seems. Yeah. Were you along the road far enough to like get into doing proper pieces and stuff, or did you just?
Nah, it was more like just more so tagging and throw ups.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then not doing a lot of. It obviously was all illegal, but and then I got into everything else, and you know, someone like me, I like lots of things, so something always has to give. But
Yeah.
I've always appreciated, always loved it. And all, like yourself, got lots of friends that are involved with it all. But even today, though,
Yeah, it's
like
a pretty interesting community, and like it's pretty close knit, I feel like. And it's cool now to see like some of the people that I was friends with a long time ago have like branched off into doing different kinds of artwork, or they follow different paths, and most of them have like become pretty damn successful. It's cool to see.
oh hell yeah, bro! It's it's cool. Like my daughter, she's 11 now, and she has started to learn about um different names that she sees around.
Okay,
And there's one
because it's
one
pretty around like Tauranga and stuff. There's heaps of riders there.
oh bro, it's a beautiful scene there. Like I don't know what the community's like there, but I just love that it's still there, it still exists. Because we get a lot of the trains that come into the mill.
Yes, yes.
So we're seeing a lot of
The paper gets transported to the port in Tauranga.
yeah, so the port's there, a lot of stuff's coming through to Kauru and vice versa, back and forth, and it's always good to see different pieces on the trains. And my daughter,
Yeah,
because I drop her off, we have to pass the mill to get to her school in Otakiri. And
yeah,
yeah, we always take a good mental note, like, oh, look at that one, oh, he's there, wow, he's
yeah,
everywhere. Because we were in uh we see, I won't say who the person is, but we see this guy in Kawerau at the mill, and then we went to the Coromandel and saw another one of his pieces at the skate park there, and she picked it up. She's like, hey, there's blah
I,
blah blah. I was like, yeah,
that's
yeah.
cool.
And she's like, wow, dude, they travel all over the place, Dad. I was like, yeah, they get around.
That's cool. Um, yeah, I think getting into it definitely like influenced my like how I dressed and how like what I appreciated. Like I guess thinking about it now, when I'm looking at clothes and stuff and like what works with certain color schemes and colors next to each other and fonts, especially writing, like I'm real particular on like when I'm looking at clothes, like does this all fit together or does it work well together? And it probably comes from like looking at lots and lots of graffiti, I guess, because
Who-
it's all it is it's just design when you think about it.
yeah, exactly. Yeah. I got my son into making music, and so I'm trying to like plant some seeds with my daughter to get into writing or some form of
Yeah,
art anyway. So I'm getting
yeah,
there. I'm working on it.
that's cool. Yeah, I've heard you posting your son's songs, some of them, like a few clips, and they sound pretty damn cool. So he's making beats and stuff and like recording his own verses
Yeah.
and stuff.
Well,
That's dope.
we managed to get him into Mags, bro. So he's at Mount
Oh
Albert.
yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, okay. So is he boarding there?
yeah. So
Oh, sick.
he's been fortunate to be a part of like a music program at a local community center.
Oh yeah.
And we had I had taught him how to make beats when he was like 13. So he's been doing,
Yeah.
he's turning 16, I think maybe this year. I should know this. But
So is he like year 11 or something? Year 10?
yeah, he would be, yeah. Oh yeah, bro. You're putting me on the
That's
spot now,
cool.
bro.
Is he playing sport and stuff?
He plays volley, but a lot of his time is spent doing music. He's real.
Oh, cool.
I like because it's a healthy obsession,
Yeah.
and I've seen it with myself and how I would obsess over certain things to try and become somewhat, have some form of mastery over something, and I can see it in
Yeah.
him. He just really loves the music. So
That's cool. Yeah, that's a great path to follow. And I feel like it's got to be good for your brain, like doing stuff like that. Like it's a whole different way of thinking. Some people have that they start off with it naturally more than others, like have that gift kind of thing. But with anything, if you really are passionate about it, whether you have a gift or not, if you keep persevering with it, you're gonna do well out of it. You're gonna get better, right? You just have to put in that time and effort.
Yeah, for sure. I was the new Canterbury campaign, bro. Like, what are your thoughts on it?
Oh, 1 second. I just gotta grab my charger, man.
Yeah,
It's a
not
good-
cool, bro.
A good talking point. Oh wait, I might have one here already. I don't know if it's on or what. Yeah, sweet. So the world's toughest, that stuff.
I was so gutted
the
I couldn't get to Auckland.
Yeah. I wish I could have gone too. It looked really cool. I liked how they set up like the clothes and stuff in the store. Looked really nice. That store gets some pretty dope like New Balance releases and stuff. I saw they had like the Ronnie Fee like really they get like some pretty hard to get stuff. But yeah, the dude who runs that store, he is really nice. Like he talks to us and stuff about like what's coming out. I think they help out with the distribution for some of the Canterbury things and stuff.
Okay.
So they're kind of like in the loop with each other normally. And then they shared with us that the stuff was coming out like a wee while ago, but we didn't really know anything about what Tom Gould was doing with the photos. We just heard there was going to be a project like down the East Coast taking photos, but we didn't know anything about what it was going to look like or anything. But that video like made me cry, yeah, because it like really reminded me of like growing up in Kodo. Like Eastern Bay of Plenty is pretty similar to the East Coast, like it's pretty close, same kind of vibe. Like you drive through Te Teko, you see kids riding horses with no saddles. And, I remember one of my first league camps, I went to Te Teko, and then there was this house next to the house where we were staying, and it was abandoned. And then they were like, "It's sweet to go, like smash the windows if you want." And I was like, "What?" I was like 7, and I was like, "This kind of goes against like what my mum would let me do, but all right, let's just give it a go." So we were just like running around, smashing windows, and oh man, it was so much fun. But yeah, it just reminded me of that a lot. And I don't know if it spoke to everyone like that, but it definitely hit something like in my heart. That whole video of like, there's that scene with the driftwood, and like, oh man, it was so. I guess because I'm not living in New Zealand at the moment too, so it kind of like it really like hit that like nostalgic button for me. I got one of the t-shirts actually, the one that has like the world's toughest on here, and then on the back it had a photo that Tom Gould took, and it has like the world's toughest. Matt, the guy from Percy's, my mate, he got it for me. So he went to the thing. He said it was really cool.
Yeah, I saw he went.
I think it's a pretty like monumental thing having all those photos done. Like we're gonna look back on it in a few years and think like this is like I guess it is like turning point for Canterbury, like in terms of like what I think is cool. They did the yachting stuff last year. It's all sort of like coming full circle back to like the stuff that I want to find.
Yeah,
it's going to be cool in the future, like finding this stuff. As long as they produce like a handful of things every year that I'm down with, then I'm going to be like over the moon. And I love the brand, man. Something about just those 3 little birds. It's like, that's us right there, you know, like that's New Zealand. And it's like, when you see it on like a South African rugby jersey or like a state of origin jersey or Australian jersey, it's like, to me, it's like, do you guys know what that is? Like, we do, like, even if we lose the game to you, you're still wearing our jerseys. And you're wearing our emblem, especially when it was like kangaroos versus the Kiwis, and then they had the Kiwis on the shirt. It's like, how does that get approved? Like, I don't know. Like, did they know about the logo? Like, it's so weird. for I think it was the New Zealand Maori jerseys this year for the Indigenous game. The brand Classic, the Australian brand, usually they use a kangaroo as their logo, but they changed it, and I think it was a kiwi for the Maori shirt.
That's
so
cool.
like it kind of went both ways for a while. I remember there was some classic jerseys that like that's a very Australian logo, like the kangaroo. But yeah, they kind of changed it up. I have one more jersey that I wanted to show. It's a Warriors jersey that I got over here, maybe like a year or two ago, and it's a weird one. Like, so the Canterbury logo is above the New South Wales badge, which means usually like a 1993 jersey. But it's made in Aussie.
Oh, crack up.
Yeah. So it's got the Aussie, New South Wales. So this is one of those like just really weird jerseys that only a couple of us would really care about. But I think it's really funny. Like once again, just one of those like just when you think you've seen it all, then this pops up.
There's the
yeah, so what else? I had something else that I wanted to ask you about, I think.
I got a message from Age, and he said like, hey bro, if you wanted to come up to the exhibition the night.
Oh yeah.
And then I was like, oh, I'll do my best to come up, bro, but it's pretty far to travel. And then Jerome sent me a picture of one of the jerseys I had thrifted, and I think it was a part of the exhibition.
Oh yeah, I know the one, and it had like the orange and the yellow.
Yeah, and I think it had a cord collar as well. Yeah, and I was like, it was pretty cool. I was like, oh, that's cool that I was able to, in some way, shape, or form, be a part of it all as well. Like, and kind of like thank the bro, like, oh, bro, cheers, bro, because he picked that up off me, and I was like, yeah,
I remember
it was cool. Yeah,
I always think of that jersey as like Frujru tropical snow, because it was like it had like I think it was on the back. It has like yellow and orange. It was like real fuzzy colors. Yeah. They came and got like a few things off Jerome like ages ago to like kind of work as inspiration for like upcoming collections, or just to get the designers like thoughts going and stuff of like what would be cool to make. And they still had some of the stuff, so yeah, they used it for that. And I think there's a vest coming out. It's in some of the photos from the East Cape thing. There's a vest coming out that was actually based off a really old Line 7 vest that we had. And it's just like a kind of like a fishing vest, and then it has like buzzy pockets all over it. And they've put some really cool graphics, like on the back it says like the world's toughest. It's like a khaki kind of color. If you look at the photos, you'll see a kid wearing it, and like a couple of times in the photos. There's a few items that haven't come out yet, but they're in those photos. Like there's a rugby jersey that's like gray and stuff, and then it's got the world's toughest, and a dude with dreadlocks is wearing it. That's like pretty cool. I think that must be coming out at some point. And then yeah, that vest looks really sick. I was just going to say that the Diff collaboration stuff with Canterbury was pretty mean too. What did you think about that?
I like that they collaborated with another New Zealand company as well. Like, I like that. I don't know. It just shows love. It's quite unique to us. Like, you having two New Zealand labels coming together. It kind of showed too, like Canterbury's ability to pivot as well and be flexible enough to I wouldn't say come over to the dark side to street culture as such, but I love that I don't know, I thought that was a really calculated risk, and a one that's going to pay off for them. I went straight to the website, I hit the links and everything, but Same story for me, bro. Couldn't find any my size.
There's a mean hat coming out in like 2 weeks. There's going to be more stuff coming out.
Oh, sweet.
So yeah, there's a real mean hat. It's like 5-panel, black, white, red. It's been like teased quite a few times over the last few months, like in stories from Deaf and stuff, where like a dude will be wearing it, but it's like it's based on the Steinlager Challenge gear. Like they've taken the Steinlager Challenge logo and then like made it like into a Deaf logo, which Deaf does really well, like taking other logos and then like flipping them in like a fun way. And then it's like got Team Deaf across here, and then it's like black, white, red, and then 5-panel, which like Canterbury hasn't nailed their caps just yet in terms of like these recent releases. So it's cool to see that it's in their capabilities to do like a 5-panel. Hopefully they keep pumping out the 5 panels with like nylon and stuff, like do more sailing, because there's a gap in the market, I feel like, because like looking at your hat, like Line 7, like, they're not making gear that we would wear currently, and there's no one else really making cool like sailing style kind of caps at the moment. So yeah, I'm excited for you'll like the new gear. I don't know if it'll be correct sizing in terms of the clothing, but the hat will be sweet.
Yeah, nah, for sure. Looking forward to that. You were just talking about the sailing stuff, and I wanted to show you. You've probably seen it already, but I was just really stoked with this one because, like, I just like thrifting stuff. It's always been like real cool for me. But when I found this one,
it
was.
Does it look at it? Yeah, man. So yeah, I love the
In the back.
those stripes at the top. Something about the stripes at the top, like the thin stripes at the top, like really says like sailing to me. I don't know why. I think there's like an old America's Cup jersey that had it, and then maybe it's like a thing that sailing jerseys had, but be cool if they could bring that back on something. I saw a real nice jersey the other day that was like black and white stripes, and then it had like a nice faint purple stripe like underneath the black and white.
Oh, that's cool.
And then the rest of the jersey was like teal or something, and like it just looks so mean.
It's like
but
that.
I always see these jerseys. Like I buy them if they're cheap, and if they're not cheap, then I'll just take photos, and then like on my phone, I've just got like a crazy amount of like old jerseys that I just like to go back and like geek out on and stuff.
Yeah, the latest pickup, I found this one in Thames, and it's a nice made in New Zealand one as well. But it's kind of like almost in a way King Country.
Yeah. So is it Adidas?
Nah, it's Canterbury, bro.
Does it look at this? Does it look at the sleeves?
So it's got the Canterbury, but it's got
the
3 stripe on the sleeves though. And then
yeah, I think that would have been like a club rugby jersey, and then like maybe even Adidas made under license by Canterbury or something like that. Because you'll see some pictures of old jerseys. I think like I posted a picture of a program the other day, or like this press release, and it was like 5 teams, and one of them was Wellington, and they had like a black jersey with the 3 yellow stripes like all the way down the sleeve. And like I think there was a few that was like a common look of like certain teams had that Adidas like all the way down. And you'll see a bit of crossover in old photos of like the Adidas shorts, but then the Canterbury jerseys. And then I think it was that era of like when Canterbury was making some Adidas stuff under license, like Lane Walker Rudkin down in Christchurch. Maybe, but yeah, that's a cool jersey. Does it have any like number or any other details or anything on it?
No, it's just no just a nice plain hood. I just like it because of the King Country colors, I suppose. Yeah.
Yeah. Is it like a brown burgundy?
Yeah.
That burgundy word again?
Yeah. So it's got the burgundy on there and then the yellow collar with the white. So it was kind of cool.
It would go really nicely with that hat that I showed earlier.
Yeah, actually it would. I might have to send this to you, bro. But nah,
But
yeah.
yeah, how good is towns like Thames and Pyro is a bit like antique story kind of, I
Yeah.
reckon. But there's some good there's a few good op shops. But I like that little area. Like I spent a few holidays in Coromandel, and then like I would try to drive back like buzzy different ways sometimes. And what's the other town? Natia. There's some buzzy shops, and yeah, in that Waikato Hodaki Plains, I think it's called, kind of area. There's like some
Yeah.
buzzy shops.
Even like the
Makes me wonder what Andy's archives up to. Like he's disappeared off Instagram. Have you noticed that? And then
I was thinking about the bro maybe 2 weeks ago, and I because I messaged him a while back, maybe last year, but he had told me he was going off socials. But we had talked about some art
yeah,
pieces that I had found that were from like a cruise from 1950s. And anyway, I've eventually sent him some photos, and then it took him like maybe 6 months to reply. And he was like, "Sorry, bro, I've been off." I'm like, "Yeah, not cool as, bro." Like, so I imagine like he's just one of those dudes, I suppose.
yeah, he had his like uni stuff going on, and he
Yeah,
was working for the council and stuff. So um, but yeah, if you still have his, because I don't have his any other details apart from like Instagram, but it'll be cool
yeah,
if you have his email address from when you spoke to him or something. I'd like to send him an email.
yeah. I'll try and dig up some of my old messages. I haven't but yeah, I actually had thought of him. Yeah, maybe 2 weeks ago. I was like, I wonder what the bro's up to. Like, um,
Yeah, I bought this T-shirt the other week, and it was like a lion, like the Whitbread lion, like Sir Peter Blake, like one of his first boats. Had like a pocket. That one that you posted, that you reposted the story. It was like had a pocket. It was red, had a pocket here, and then it had like a little white Canterbury logo. Had the lion, and then on the back it had like a picture of the boat. And the thing that reminded me of Andy, the neck was like full 80s like
like a
t-shirt
ringer.
style, but it
Yeah.
was like normal t-shirt, but then like full 80s neck, like the kind of like smaller neck, like rolled in kind of thing. And yeah, I was like, oh fuck, because like I always used to send, then like if I think something's gonna appeal to someone, like items that I've found, then I'll like share it to them on Instagram, and then like send them a message just as like, it's fun as like a talking point. And I've done it like so many times now where like I'm like, oh, that's right, he's gone. Like, where the hell is he? But yeah, I miss my friend Andy. Come back. He's doing the Lord's work though, saving our forests and our flora, fauna, and our native birds, I guess.
Yeah. I mean, even the way he ran his page, I always felt like he was a dude who kind of, sang to the beat of his own drum. He just walked his walk.
Yeah,
Yeah. Oh,
yeah,
yeah. Yeah, you actually got me
selling
worried
fully
now.
unique stuff, and like, yeah, that's what's cool about him.
Yeah.
Well, you're much more likely to run into him than I am over here. Like, you'll probably bump into him somewhere in the Waikato
well, I was actually thinking
doing some gorse cutting or something.
I got his address too, so I was like, oh, it wouldn't be too weird to just pop in and say hi, like just come to check on you, bro. Like he disappeared.
But yeah, it's funny, like it makes you think, like for us, like I'm speaking on your behalf, but like social media is such like a big thing these days. And then you think like there's a few people out there that just don't have social media at all, and they're sweet, you know, but like to us they don't really exist. It was like you don't talk to them that often or whatever. Yeah, it's quite buzzy, especially living away. Like it's such a good way to contact people. It's not like I'm really like bumping into people that are like-minded or into the same stuff as me over here like all that often. I got a good story to finish for our chat today,
Dope.
if you're keen.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, the other week I was going to Osaka for the day. So it's about a like 2-hour drive, but I turned it into like 5 hours because I want to stop at like random stores and go to random towns and get a feed and stuff like that. So all day I hadn't found anything. Well, I'd found one thing for my son, like a Hanshin Tigers baseball jersey.
Oh, dude.
There's heaps of them here, but there's only certain ones that I quite like. Like there's kind of thinner, like cheaper ones, weird yellow ones, but this one was a nice black Mizuno branded, like pretty thick. Like it was nice weight to it, like it's good. So yeah, I got that for like $3 or something. So that was cool. That was all good. But I kept going, got to Osaka, and then I decided like it's getting too late. I'm just gonna stay the night here, and because I didn't have the family with me, so I was kind of like I could do what I wanted. So I sussed out a place to stay, parked the car up, and then I headed down to Amemura, it's called, or like America Mura, and it means like America Town, and it's like a hub for vintage clothes, and there's I don't know hundreds of vintage clothing stores in this one little area, and there's bars and restaurants, and there's like loud music playing, and it's a vibe, you know, like there's like people skating around, people drinking, hanging out, and their hours are like 12 or 1 p.m. they open, and then it'll go till like 8, or like some stores might even stay open till 9 or 10. So it's cool. It's a good buzz. So I headed down there, and then I went to one of my favorite stores that I've got like a couple of things before, and had a look through the racks, and then I came across this rack, and it was just like Canterbury rugby jerseys, bro. And I was like, oh yeah. So there was a 1997 Newcastle Knights jersey. There was a 1997 Illawarra Steelers jersey. There was Steinlager All Blacks jersey. There was Kangaroos jersey. There was a Wellington Lions jersey. There were like 2 or 3 Wallabies jerseys. It was crazy. It was crazy. The only place that I've seen in a shop that's had like those kind of jerseys before, like was in Sydney. There's this cool chain called Sea Splashback, and it's like run by this Vietnamese family, and they go to Glebe Market as well on a Saturday morning. And I've got some amazing. Last time I got the Sick Crushers jersey from them, but yes, like you only expect to see like all those Aussie kind of Aussie New Zealand jerseys, like maybe in New Zealand or in Australia, you know. And in New Zealand they would have already been gone. So I ended up buying the Knight jersey, the Steelers jersey, the Steinlager All Blacks jersey, and the Kangaroos jersey, because those were the ones that were like good sizes, and bro, the condition was mint. They were all on one rack. Like there's lots and lots of racks in the store, you know, but they were just all together in this like rugby jersey kind of section, along with like your Ralph Laurens, your Tommy Hilfiger rugby, like all kind of different rugby jerseys. So yeah, but I haven't had that feeling for a while where you're just like shaking, where you just know that like you're onto a good thing, and like you're just like you're going to the count. Like I wanted to keep looking in the rest of the store, but then I was like, fuck, I just want to like make sure I can buy these and get, like your brain starts playing tricks on you. Like, what if they figure out that they're not worth this much, or what if they, you know, like what if like something goes wrong and like the store closes and I can't buy them. So you're on the edge, like until they're in that bag and you're outside of the store, like, you know, you're just kind of like, you're on edge, you know, like, so I haven't had that feeling for a while where I was just like, oh man, like, yes, because they were like $30 each basically, and then
Nice.
you know how much they're worth.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Nice.
it was fun, man. Like, oh, and it just like that was the last store that I was gonna hit as well, because it was about 7:45. I was getting hungry
Damn.
for dinner, and it's just one of those moments, you know, where like don't never throw the towel in, man. Like always hit that last door. Like always keep going until closing time, because like you just never know what's there. Like, yeah, you can't ever assume that like someone's already been there, or they wouldn't sell this thing for that cheap, or you just got to keep going, keep hunting, and there's always something. I think that's what keeps me going, man. It's just like something like that every now and then, and it doesn't even have to be regularly. It can just be like months apart, but you just get that like that buzz, and you don't get that buying online. Like it's something about real life and like
Yeah.
finding.
The
So yeah,
endorphins
I
would
was
have been
hitting them up
going,
like,
man.
have you guys got any more like in a box out the back, or like
Yeah.
did these get donated here, or because they must have got sold all together by somebody to the either like a different branch, and then because it's like a chain of reselling stores, but that particular one just always has the gems. I don't know why. So yeah,
That's
if you guys are ever going to Japan, go to Osaka and then Amemura, and you will see like it's like going to art galleries. Like these stores are just, if you're whatever you're into, like movie tees, Disney tees, band tees, sports gear. I found this random store a few times ago that I was there, and it was on the second floor, and it was all football jerseys, like all like with plastic covering on them, and it was like this whole like floor full of football shirts from all around the world, like all the clubs. Bro, it was nuts. Like the thing is, they know the values though, so like you're not really, you might get the odd like come up, but if you just want to see the best of the best, like it's like walking through people's collections, man, and it's like, yeah, it's so sick.
damn, that is like the fact that you were catching nothing all day, and then in the very
And rugby
last stop.
jerseys that I'm into, like the rugby jerseys that we're kind of into, it's not the kind of thing that you see there
Yeah.
at all. It's like it's pretty random, but I see like the odd random Canterbury thing. Like Canterbury does hold weight here for certain people, and it has been sold here for a long time, so it is out there, but it probably makes up like 1% of the clothing in the stores. Like probably way less than that even. So like you have to really like look. I always just ask them like, do you guys have a rugby jersey section, or like you can spot the collars and stuff, and then they're pretty good about like curating the stores and grouping the clothing together. So that makes it a bit easier. They're really big on that here of like all of this type of shirt will be together, all of this t-shirt, all of these pants. So if you're looking for a specific thing, then like specific style of thing, and then they'll have all the brands that make that specific style of jacket or that specific style of shirt. Or it's pretty damn cool.
Damn, that's so cool. That's a cool story. I'm so happy that you shared that story.
It was fun. And hopefully it happens again. But if it doesn't, then I'll always remember that feeling, man. Like, yeah, there's nothing like it.
That's so dope, bro. Bro, it's good to chat with you. Thanks for like giving me your time, eh? And I know you're at home with your family and also appreciate that, eh?
No worries. It's been lovely, and I appreciate your hard work. Hopefully, we can track down Andy, and hopefully Canterbury keeps going hard with these releases, and hopefully you get the win tomorrow.
See how we go, bro.
How do they care about the shoulder charge in your grade? Like, is Ben Madaleno going to be bringing it back out, or?
Oh, I'd imagine he'd be playing at a different level to us, I reckon. Probably wouldn't even need to.
There's no bunker, so It's all real time. Everything looks a little bit sweeter.
I don't know. I think because they won their division because they played in the Bay comp, but I don't know if we're still a developing, I guess, competition, the coastline. So not sure who from.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I like that word, Waikoa, like Waikato coastlands together. Like when I clicked that, I was like buzzing out, like, oh, Waikoa, that's fuzzy.
Yeah, Waikoa Bay. Yeah, nah, it's good. The Waikato is strong, really strong. The Bay is really strong. So the coastlines competition, yeah, it's just about everyone helping each other, like all the clubs supporting each other and trying to get a good competition going. So that's kind of where we're at the moment.
That's just cool. That's nice that you guys have got a team again, like after not having a team and stuff. I'm sure there were people probably hanging out and play.
Yeah, heaps of young dudes too, which is it's good. And people like myself and a few other the older heads, we come back and try and support them and develop the game. So yeah, we should be good, bro. But
yeah, nice.
I'll let you go, bro. Appreciate
Keep
your
doing
time.
that good work.
No worries, brother.
Peace, and let's talk again soon. I'm always down to chat about this kind of thing. So
for sure, my bro. Appreciate that, eh?
Behold my cool style while I grip the funk with my mom.